Okay. If you look at these 5 practices that are new method of housekeeping in company. Okay. Any question? No question. It's clear. Okay. On the other hand, 2 additional SS has been added this list: safety and support. Self-discipline, I explain again. Self-discipline means you should monitor yourself and your progress in your workplace. You should evaluate yourself to see how you are doing well. Safety, build in good practices, working in safe place, and support or maintenance, reduce variability and unplanned downtime. Maintenance also is another practice that you can do it to support your equipment to well kept. Remove variability. What's the meaning of the variability? Variability is any deviation from optimum process that delivers perfect product on time. It means that any deviation or any thing that causes a bad delivers perfect product on time. On the other hand, variability is a polite word for problem or error. The less variability in your system leads to less waste in your company. The most variability can be due to poor management in your company. Variable means problem, means that any deviation from good process. Then you see that your production process is not under control and there is some error. It means that a variability, yes, has happened in your production line or production process. Yes, exactly. If you purchase high quantity inventory, you cannot find there is any variability or no, because you should keep in storage and after that you should use them. But if you purchase on right quantity, you can inspect them immediately and you can see if there is any problem in your inventory. So this is the reason that inventory hides variability. It means that high inventory hides variability because you have not enough time to check all of them, and when you want to use them in your production line, you will face inventory problem. This is the reason that we tell less variability resulting in less waste. Sources of variability. Incomplete or inaccurate drawings or specifications. Poor production process resulting in incorrect quantities, late or non-conforming units, and unknown customer demands. Inaccurate drawings or specification means, for example, when your equipment, when your machinery is doing wrong, is operating wrong, or the operator or your staff are doing something wrong. Poor production process. If you cannot design your production process very well before starting any production, you will face problem, and you see that your final production has problem. On the other hand, if you cannot estimate customer demands, they are source of variability. Both just-in-time and inventory reduction are effective tools in identifying causes of variability. Unknown customer demand means that you cannot determine the number of customer demand. It means that you cannot estimate your customer demand. It leads to you have to produce more or less. So you face the capacity or you face the production process problem. Yes, exactly, forecasting. If you cannot do forecasting, you will face problems in production process. So, just-in-time and inventory reduction are effective tools in identifying causes of variability. So, just-in-time can be a useful tool to remove variability in your company. Improve throughput. What's the meaning of throughput? Throughput is a measure, usually in time, that it takes to move an order from receipt to delivery. Yes, the time between the arrival of raw materials and the shipping of the finished order is called manufacturing cycle time. A full system increases throughput. Each minute products remain on the books, cost accumulate, and competitive advantage is lost. Yes, exactly. It's delivery on time. So one of the techniques for increasing throughput is a pull system. What's the meaning of pull system? Pull system pulls a unit to where it is needed. So pull systems are a standard tools of just-in-time systems. They use signals to request production and delivery from sublines to stations that have production capacity available. I repeat again, pull system uses signals to request production and delivery from supplying stations to stations that have production capacity available. It means that you are pulling a unit to where it is needed. For example, the staffs are working together in one station, use the signals to tell each other I'm down and send me your parts. So they finish one part and pass it to another person, to another line, and then order the next part from another person. They pull the units No, I will explain again. Pull system pulls a unit to where it is needed. For example, 5 or 6% are working together in McDonald's restaurant. Okay, when the order is placed by customer, the first person prepare the bread and send it to next person. Next person receive the bread and put a hamburger on it and send to another person. It means that they are pulling the units from each other. It means that like a chain, yes, like a chain, exactly. They know how many units they are need to fulfill their customer needs. So they don't do extra work. They don't select extra material. When one person finish, send it to another person. He finish or she finish and send another person. They are pulling the units to each other on the right quantity. Not extra and not less. Yes. It means that they should know the number of units that exactly needed in that time. Yes, exactly. In the manual system, it can be, but in some company, the technology has advanced. And if you go to automobile industry, you can see that everything is moving on a systems and automobile on the rail, on moving on a rail, stage to stage, and some employees are working on some parts of the automobile. When finished, go next. by pulling material in a small lots or in a small space. Inventory quotients are removed, exposing problems and emphasizing continual improvement. Manufacturing cycle times is reduced. Push systems dump order on the downstream station regardless of the need. So, when you use only the number of units, number of raw materials that you need in your work, you can work in a small lots. Yes. Because only a few units enter the process of production, and when they are finished, you can order another one. So through this, you can reduce the you can reduce the size of workplace. No need to store a lot of material in your workplace and use them. On the other hand, push system is in opposite with pull system. Push system dump orders onto downstream stations regardless of the need. Pull system regards the need, the number of units that is needed now, but the push system sends arbitrary number of units to system, regardless to need, time, and everything. Yes. Now we want to focus more on just-in-time. Powerful strategy for improving operations. Materials arrive where they are needed, when they are needed. Where they are needed, when they are needed. Identifying problems and deriving out waste reduces cost and variability and improves throughput. Requires a meaningful buyer-supplier relationship. When good units don't arrive just as needed, a problem has been identified. So just-in-time is a key integrant of linked operations and is particularly helpful in supporting strategies of rapid response and a low-cost strategy. So just-in-time is helpful in supporting strategies of rapid response and low-cost strategy, if you remember. I told you we are three main strategy: differentiation, low-cost, rapid response. So just-in-time is very useful for rapid response and low-cost or cost leadership strategy. So just-in-time is looking for all of the problems that can increase waste, increase time or waiting, and try to remove them. So it's better you place an order from your supplier in right quantity and receive them in right place, in right time, to prevent the extra cost. Just-in-time and competitive advantage. There are some techniques that are used in just-in-time strategy. Some techniques are related to suppliers. Some of them are related to layout, inventory, scheduling, preventive maintenance, quality production, employee empowerment, and commitment. As you see, in relation to suppliers, just-in-time techniques tell you can select few vendors, supportive supplier relationships, quality deliveries on time, and directly to work areas. In relation to layout, it means that you can design your work cells or workplace. You can use all of the space in your workplace, and you can make right partitions that are connected to each other, so employees that can move through them easily without any problems, that reduce the time. Flexible machinery, organized workplace, and reduce space for inventory. Inventory. You can use the small lot size or store for your inventory, low setup time, and specialized part bins. It means that you can use the small lot for storage. You can use the inventory that can be set up very easily. That reduces your time. And you can use some bins or boxes that can put the inventory inside them to categorize them in similar groups and use them very easily. That can show your discipline in company. Scheduling, that means the arranging time for your work. Zero deviation. Suppliers informed of schedule, Kanban techniques. I will explain about the Kanban techniques in next slide. Preventive maintenance. Schedule, daily routine, and operator involvement in maintaining or supporting machinery and equipment. Quality production. You can use some techniques such as statistical process control, quality suppliers, quality within your firm. Employee empowerment. Empowered and cross-trained employees. Training support. Few job classifications to ensure flexibility of employees are techniques, just-in-time techniques that are related to employees. And commitment. Support of management, employees, and suppliers. That is called commitment. So each member of company needs its own techniques for just-in-time strategy. You should behave to suppliers through this technique. layout, this technique until commitment. Just-in-time partnerships. Okay. When you make decisions to run the just-in-time strategy, you should make a strong partnership. It means that your partners should cooperate with you in your decision about running just-in-time. It means that the suppliers that you are working with them should commit in your network to help you and deliver your desired quantity in your desired place and your desired time. Just-in-time partnership exists when a supplier and purchaser work together to remove waste and drive down costs. There are 4 goals or 4 objectives of just-in-time partnerships. The first objective of just-in-time partnership is removal unnecessary activities. Drive down cost means reduce cost. Reduce cost through removing waste. Okay. Number 2 is removal of in-plant inventory. In-plant inventory. Okay. Removal of in-plant inventory means by delivering in a small lot directly to the using department as needed. Number 3 is removal of in-transit inventory. You can do this by encouraging suppliers to load it nearby and provide frequent small shipments. Improve quality and reliability. You can use it through long-term commitments, communications, and cooperation with suppliers to receive high-quality materials from your supplier. Okay? Any question? Any question? No question? I can continue. Okay. Concern of suppliers. Suppliers, in relation to establishing just-in-time by company, have their own concern. They are worried about some items. These items have been listed as you can see in this slide. Diversification, scheduling, changes, quality, lot size. Why they are concerns for suppliers? Let's consider each of them. Diversification. Okay. Diversification means that suppliers like to work with more than one company. They like to work with some companies, not only one customer or company, because they are scared about losing that customer, and if they work only or they try to only one customer, it can increase the risk for them. Because when they lose that customer or that company, they have to invest more to find other customers. This is the reason that they may not want to tie themselves to long-term contract with only one customer. Scheduling. Many suppliers have little faith in the purchaser's ability to produce orders to a smooth and coordinated schedule. They don't believe customers can create a smooth schedule. It means that the customer's forecasting, the most of time can be wrong. So they can place wrong orders to suppliers. Number 3, changes. Short lead times mean engineering or specification changes can create problems. So changes mean changes in engineering and specification that can create problems. Because changes in engineering can provide inadequate lead time for suppliers to implement their necessary changes. I repeat again, changes in engineering or specification, for example, in your design, product design, can lead to inadequate lead time for suppliers to implement the necessary changes. Lead time is the time that it takes from making an order, placing an order to deliver to customer. It's called lead time. I wrote for you in chat box, lead time. Quality. Capital budget, processes, or technology can limit quality, can make problems in quality for suppliers. The lack of their ability to access to new technology or design of a good process, and also capital budget. They are another because changing can increase cost for suppliers. They don't like to face these changes. When they want to receive the order, they like to receive a complete, a perfect order. without any problems. If something change, they have to change, and the change can be costly for supplier. This is the reasons that make them concerned. Yes. Lot size or space size. Suppliers may see frequent delivery in small lots as a way to transfer buyers' holding costs to suppliers. So a small lot size may transfer costs to suppliers. Yes, I agree with you, but sometimes uh, changes are in a way that have not been mentioned in contract. Okay, in this time, the supplier can go to rage and can resent from customer. Yes, unless they guarantee customer and they promise to support customer every time. It can happen in new technology or new products that may change it very much during the process of production. Because it is new technology or new product and they become uh, about they become about the more customer needs and try to change again the product to meet those needs. So it may happen in the new technology. Yeah. On the other hand, the lot size can increase the cost for suppliers because they have to reduce frequency for customer, and the reducing frequency can increase the cost for supplier. Okay, these are the 5 things that suppliers are concerned about them. Just-in-time layout. Layout is very important in just-in-time strategy because it can reduce the another kind of waste, movement. As I told you, movement one of the source of waste. If you can reduce the movement of the personnel, the movement of the equipment, the movement of the tools, they can reduce the waste, and so you can decrease your cost. So the company has to work cells or workstations for families of products. For those products are similar together, they can assemble in one place together to use their similar equipment. Include a large number of operations in a small area, minimize distance, and also the layout design can decrease the distance that personnel or products have to be moved through this distance. Also, through the technology such as the online internet and online chat, the employee that can prevent them commuting between their office or between buildings that can waste time for them. Okay. Use the Poka-Yoke devices and build flexible or movable equipment, cross-train workers to add flexibility. All of them can also useful tools in layout design. The the Poka-Yoke are the instruments that can help staff or employees to prevent the error, prevent the mistake. For example, a warning system, a gadget. Here a kind of the Poka-Yoke device. For example, when you are working with a machine and you do a mistake and increase the temperature in machine, some warning devices can prevent you. It can be a software, yes. It can be a software in computer. It can be alarm system, very good. Alarm system. For example, when, as I told you, when you are working with equipment or when you are working with a machine that you do wrong, yes, exactly. Mistake proofing, very good. It can prevent you to not to do that mistake. As I told you, such as the alarm system. Okay. Distance reduction. Reducing distance is a major contribution of work cells, work centers, and focus factories. The days of line production lines and huge economic lots with good passing through monumental single operating machines are gone. Now, firms use work cells often arranged in a U shape. It means that the large lots and the line production lines has been gone in these days, and the company are using the small lots and often U shape for shorter paths and improved communication. U shape means when you go to some offices, you can see that the staffs are sitting near each other in a U shape table. U shape table can increase the communication between people. Yes, and also they can use the similar equipment very easily. They can turn and talk together, and they can access to their facility very easy. It's called the U-shape for shorter path and improved communication, often using group technology concept. It means that when some group are using the same technology, same equipment, we can categorize this technology or this facility together to make easy the access of the employee to those technology. Increased flexibility. Cells means the partition in your company, workstations or work partitions, designed to be rearranged as volume or design change. When you decide to change the design of your company or design of your office, the partition or cells should be designed in a way that can be rearranged very easily. You should put enough space that anytime you make decisions to employ more staff, hire more staff. It means that the cells or the workplace should be flexible to rearranging or designing, applicable in office environments as well as production settings. It can be used in both office environment and also production setting. Yes, and also it increases the fast communication. Very good. Facilitates both product and process improvement. When you are designing the production process, you should pay attention to this point that the assembly lines should be very near to each other. Because you shouldn't have to transfer or move some parts from one assembly line to another assembly line that is very far from you, and the next step is exactly that assembly line. If the next step is for example, if the next step is the assembly line number 3, the number 3 should be built in beside the number 2, and number 2 should be very near to number 1 for easier movement of parts or material in process throughout these departments or units. It means the flexibility. That means that the cells should be designed in a way that rearrange very easily. Impact on employees. Just-in-time layout also can impact on employees through cross-trained for flexibility and efficiency. Employees are cross-trained for flexibility and efficiency. It means that when you make decisions to change everything, employees should be flexible to those changes, should be updated to those changes. Improve communications facilitate the passing on of important information about the process. Yes, cross-trained means should be trained in every direction. That can switch on each of them very easily. With little or no inventory buffer, getting it right the first time is critical. So the information among the employees are very, very important. I mean the following of the information. As I told you, the defective products are waste. When workers produce units one at a time, they test each product or component at each subsequent production stage. Machines in work cells with self-testing Poka-Yoka functions detect defects and stop automatically when they occur. Reduce space and inventory. As I told you, with reduced space, inventory must be in very small lots. When you reduce your space, you use a less inventory. And units are always moving because there is no storage. Unit means the raw materials are always moving among these small lot size because there is no storage for them. It doesn't happen every week. Only once a week, the units are moved to main company or main building. Inventory. Inventory is at the minimum level necessary to keep operations running. Inventory is at the minimum level necessary to keep operations running. Just-in-time inventory tactics or techniques are use a pull system, as I told you. Reduce lot size. Develop just-in-time delivery system with suppliers. Deliver directly to point of use. Perform to a schedule. Reduce setup time and use group technology. They are the tactics that are related to inventory management in just-in-time. Use pull system, reduce lot size. It means that reduce the lot size for storage. Develop just-in-time delivery system with suppliers. Delivery directly to point of use. Perform to a schedule. Reduce setup time and use group technology. Because the lot has been decreased, the lot size has been decreased, you should use the group technology that are similar together, that are familiar, the same family, to use them very easily in this small size. And also you should use equipment that can be set up very easily and prevent the time waste. Okay? Kanban. When you decrease your lot size, space size, one of the ways to achieve a small lot size is to move inventory through the shop only as needed, rather than pushing it onto next workstation, whether or not the personnel there are ready for it. Okay, the Kanban refers to tool system that I told you. Kanban is the Japanese word for card. The card is an authorization for the next container of the material to be produced or to be moved from one point to another point in workstation. A sequence of Kanbans pulls materials through the process. Many different sorts of the signals are used, but the system is still called a Kanban. Card means signal. They often use a card to signal the need for another container of material. It means that they show the green light, like a green light in traffic light, that permit you can move. Imagine this situation in the company. When you set up the Kanban system in your company, some employees are waiting to see the permission to send the materials toward those employees that had already done and need their next container of material. It's a system, it's a kind of the system. Permission systems to slowly pull the materials to assembly lines and use only the units, the number of units that are needed, not extra or not less. When staff have finished, they announce that we are ready for next container. They show cards. Replace the finished good, yes, the finished good with the new raw materials. It means that they give an authorization for next container not sooner or not late. It can decrease the idle time. It can decrease the movement waste. Okay? Okay. If you are tired, we can if you are tired, we can finish it now and continue next week, if you agree. But if you want, I can continue. No problem for me. It depends on you. It's enough for today, yes. Because I believe that you should study, and if you go, it can be boring for you. About 10 slides has been remained, and we can discuss together next week, the rest of them. Okay? Okay, sure. Okay. If you have any question, I'm at your service. You don't have exam, as I told you. You don't have exam. You should pay attention. Pay attention to your final project. If you haven't formed any group, please do it as soon as possible because you have not enough time. Today was the 9th session. You have only one month's time to send your final project. 1 week after last session of class. 1 week after last session. Today is the 9th session. We have only 3 sessions. Okay, so you have only one month time. Your deadline is next month. Exactly the same date. And also I will send you individual assignment. Yes, don't worry. I will send you individual assignment. You have 2 weeks time to do it and send me through email. You have one individual assignment and one group assignment. The group assignment is your final project. Is a project that you can submit the next month. And also you have one individual assignment that I will send you. I mentioned the topics for your project in the PDF file that I sent you 2 months ago. Please refer to the PDF, the syllabus, the operation management syllabus. In that PDF, you can see the topic for your project and the format of doing that. Okay. If you have not any question, please let me finish the class now. And if you have, if any question is right to you, don't hesitate. Send me email. I will be at your service. Okay, thanks. Have a nice time and have a nice night. See you next week.